What's going on, nation? Today I'm going to show you how to properly perform a bench press using dumbbells. Now I know the majority of you guys can probably lift more weight with the barbell version of this movement, but if the dumbbell bench press is not a staple in your push workouts, then you're really missing out on a lot of potential benefits. This is because dumbbells are usually advantageous over barbells because they allow for full range of motion and help strengthen other muscles surrounding the area you're training because you need more control to perform the movements, which in this case would be your shoulders and triceps. So if you want to add the dumbbell bench press to your current chest workout, there are 3 important things that you need to focus on. But before we get started, be sure to click that notification bell so you never miss a new video upload. Number 1, range of motion. When you're using a barbell, it should be obvious that you're limited by the barbell itself at the bottom of the movement. What I mean by that is that as I'm lowering the barbell towards my chest, the barbell will stop as soon as my chest gets in the way and I cannot lower it any further. This limited range of motion might be good for overloading your chest with more weight because the distance the barbell has to travel is much smaller, and while that's great, it's definitely not optimal when it comes to getting a full stretch at the bottom or a full contraction at the top of the movement. Also guys, dumbbells don't just allow you to get a deeper stretch, but they also create the circumstances for a harder contraction at the top of the movement. Why? Well, to answer that, we have to remember what the chest muscles actually do. Sure, their primary function is to press weights away from your body, but their secondary function is to also adduct the humerus. Try it right now, guys. Bring your hands together just like this, as if you're going to clap, and then press your hands into each other as hard as you can. Notice how much your chest is already firing, and also notice that you're getting a great pump just from doing this without any weight. Now, getting back to the dumbbells, you have to take advantage of their potential by getting a maximum stretch at the bottom of the movement by not stopping at 90 degrees, but by going as deep as possible. In full range of motion also means ensuring a maximum flex or contraction at the top by bringing your arms together as you push the dumbbells over your chest. Now that we've got the range of motion down, let's take a look at the second thing you need to remember when performing a dumbbell bench press, and that's shoulder blade positioning, also known as shoulder packing. Proper shoulder packing comes down to 2 movements, bringing your shoulders back and down. So you have to retract and depress the shoulder blades as you're setting up for your set. Alright guys, so what I'm about to show you right now is going to completely change your life when it comes to doing the bench press, whether you're doing dumbbells or barbells. And this is going to ensure, this technique, this is going to make sure that you 100% are packing your shoulders before the start of every single set. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit on the edge of the bench just like this. Now obviously when I roll back, I'm going to have a lot of room left over, but we want that room there for a reason. Because what you're going to do is once you roll back to get into place, you're going to put your feet on the ground like this, bring your toes back just like that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to extend your hips into the air like this, and then utilize how far down you are on the bench to slide back a bit to get your shoulders fully contracted and fully packed before you put your butt back down on the bench and then get ready to do your repetitions. So if you're doing that, there's no possible way that you'll be able to flare your elbows out far enough to actually injure your shoulders because they're so tightly packed from doing the slide. So when you stick your hands in the air after doing the slide, they should be above your chest just like this, and you'll notice that your range of motion is exactly where it needs to be. So why do this? First of all, you'll find that it's an automatically advantageous position for your shoulders to be in, which means you'll be able to push much heavier weights. Secondly, by packing your shoulder blades, you're essentially protecting your shoulders from serious injuries such as chest tears, rotator cuff tears, and even shoulder dislocations. And finally, guys, by strategically placing your chest on top, so your shoulders are underneath and your chest is on top, you're making sure that the chest will be the primary mover when you're pressing, not the front delts. The exact opposite stands true when you're performing shoulder raises to target your front delts. Here, you want to keep your shoulders basically protracted so that the chest doesn't come into play as you lift your arm up and down if you were to do a front raise with your shoulders. Makes sense, right? The last thing to keep in mind is proper elbow positioning. You have three options here, and you usually see people go for either one of these options. Number one, they flare their arms out so they're in line with their shoulders. Number two, they keep their arms at about 45 degrees out away from their torso. And number three, they keep their elbows tucked in and almost rubbing with their torso as they press. So which is the best placement in order to target the chest as effectively and as safely as possible? Well, it's the second form with your arms flared at about 45 degrees. While the third option is best when it comes to protecting your shoulder joints, it definitely turns the movement more into a dumbbell tricep press, similar to the close grip bench press. However, if you're currently experiencing shoulder pain, go with this version to keep your shoulders safe and prevent further injury. Also, don't be surprised when you see most people at the gym using the first form with their arms completely flared out to the side. This is without a doubt the worst way to go about pressing in general. Not only are you at serious risk of destroying your shoulder joints, but you're also not properly set up to lift the maximum amount of weight you can handle to overload your chest for muscle growth. So now that you understand the mechanics of the movement, let's go over proper form from start to finish. So you're going to get set up just like this. Remember, sit at the edge of the bench to give yourself time to slide back. I already like to start off compressing my shoulders just a little bit before I lean back. And then what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to push off my toes and then extend my arms at the same time to kick these dumbbells up just like this. I don't like starting from the bottom because if you do, you're going to have a really hard time doing the slide. Once in place right here, bring your feet back a bit, slide back, make sure those shoulders are packed, put that butt back on the bench. Now from this point, you're going to flex your glutes as hard as you can. You're going to push your knees out. That's going to create stability for your lower portion of your body. And then from here, you're going to come all the way down. Only a slight flare in those elbows. Come back up to the top. Squeeze your chest as hard as you can and repeat for reps. And this is going to maximize the engagement in your chest and take all of the tension and all of the pressure out of your shoulders to ensure that when you do a dumbbell chest press, you're working the muscles the exercise was intended to work, which is the chest. Now, if you want to apply a cheat and recover to this exercise, you can, but you're going to need a spotter. Remember, cheat and recover is all about overloading the chest. If you were doing a barbell version of this movement, you could use bands, and you could apply bands to the barbell to kind of self-spot. But when it comes to dumbbells, what you would do is you would have your partner stand behind you, and you would get as heavy weights as you can possibly handle, and you would control the negative, and then as soon as you got to the bottom, your spotter would step in and just push him right to the top, and then immediately remove himself from the equation so that you can utilize every single cheat rep, the negative or the eccentric on every single rep before finishing your 8 reps and then going into the recover reps, which is you just doing perfect range of motion, your spotter isn't helping you, and you're doing perfect form on the way up and all the way down for all 8 of the recover reps as well. If you guys want to add this exercise to your current chest workout, I recommend starting your routine with it and performing 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps with as much weight as you can handle. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to show your support by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're in need of a full 12-week program proven to help build some serious muscle and strength, just go down to that info section below and click the links to all my programs on muscularstrength.com. You'll have instant access to all 5 programs, my custom meal plan app, and of course the support of the entire community. And as always, guys, more good stuff coming soon. See ya.